This product still needs a bit more work. Pros: it's wide and it's more quiet than classic Corsair AUEs that you had to buy Noctua fans for. The fans are much more quiet and they have rubber spots attached to the frame. But I still recommend using additional rubber dampening sleeves for the screws, like the ones that come with NBE loop fans or Noctua. My temps for a 1070K with XMP at 3200 Hz equals idle 29, moderate load 45 to 47, high load 55. Cons: more difficult to install due to the extra wiring. Instructions: Don E.G. 2011 needed the backplate for my MSI Z490 Unify board, where the instructions say a backplate isn't needed for 2011. Screws are too long, but I had other screws and some washers from previous builds. But that makes it more fiddly and more time consuming to install. My temps are slightly higher with this version than they were with the H60 or H100 Classic editions. The iCUE software is both better and less helpful than the older Corsair Link software, in my opinion. It's clearly more designed for RGB, which isn't the most important function of AUE CPU cooler. But I do like that you can show iCUE space and a dashboard pops out from the right of the screen to show temps, CPU, GPU, drives. Compared to NZXT or the awful MSI or Asus software that is provided by MOBO makers, it's worlds better. I installed this in an NZXT H150i Elite on the front. iCUE doesn't seem to work with the NZXT fan and RGB controller, but some in the Corsair forums have figured out a way to make it work. Needs better iCUE software, which should be forthcoming, I'm sure. Would be nicer if you could make the dashboard boxes bigger. I have gone through a whole saga of trying to cool a 3950X processor, and the Corsair iCUE H150i RGB Pro XT is the only cooler that I would deem worthy. If you want your computer to run at base clocks configuration and not be overheating and freezing up, this is the only option. Remarkably, this cooler is more readily available and less expensive than other coolers that are vastly inferior. Because your chip is square, you want to find a cooler with a square water block. This immediately rules out the various coolers from NXCT, Thermaltake. You want 6th generation pumps if you're going with a cooler outsourced to Acetech. You want as much cooling surface area as possible. Forget the 120mm, 240mm coolers, they will not cut it with a 3950X, 280mm is borderline. Click link in description for more reviews.